Yes guys, just a quick one on developing the shading on this Monopoly man's face. After I've infilled these little sections, I'm going to be going to a 15 curved mag. I'm going to start to build up this shading around the right side of the face. What you'll notice and what I want to get across in this demo is the moving around whilst mapping. So I'm going to be regularly mapping a section and then moving to different areas and then slowly building up the shading in the face. Going to keep the shading quite delicate. Because it's quite a small face, I'm only going to shade these sections so much. With something like this, when it's quite small, it's very easy to shade it too much. And then when you step back and look at it, it'll be oversaturated and it'll kind of look clogged together. You want to ensure you're leaving enough skin. So I'm looking at the reference image and what I'm doing is mapping, or should I say, putting in bits of shading and then moving on. And every time I come back to an area of shaded, I'm just going to develop it a bit more. So essentially your first layer of shading, it's almost like a mapping section. So you're going to glide a bit of shading in and then move on, and not sort of overthink it and worry too much about it not looking complete. That ability to move round a tattoo is a good way of staying focused, keeping your concentration high, but more than anything, it's a good way of slowly seeing the tattoo come together. Stops you doing too much shading in the wrong area. Few coaching points then. So I'm kind of ensuring that whenever I contact the skin, the needles are gliding in the skin at an angle. So I'm not coming directly down, I'm offsetting my angle backwards to let the needles glide in the skin a little bit easier. I'm ensuring the skin stays stretched and I can literally glide along that skin and there's no resistance whatsoever. When I'm layering and developing shading sections on a piece like this, or on any piece for that matter, I'll always start to build down my tones. So I tend to work from dark to light 9 times out of 10. Unless I'm hitting something in one go. Certain sections I can just finish off the shading then and there. I'm going to layer it up a few times, build down my washes, and then that's that. But if I'm moving around the face as one piece, like I said, I'll keep developing the sections and then moving on. You can see there's quite a lot of excess ink on the skin. This is a confidence thing really, so I know when I'm targeting a section I'm not needing to literally wipe the skin every time I pass over it with a needle, because I can feel the needle gliding over. I know what washes I'm in. I know sort of that the ink's been delivered, and I can do a bit of building up and just clean it every now and again. If you're literally having to wipe it every time you've done one little bit, it's going to slow you down massively and you're going to risk losing your stencil as well. At this stage I've sort of mapped a lot of this tattoo out. By the time I get to my stencil, it's not that important because I've already mapped the face. So Massive tip as well, keep plenty of ink on that needle, or should I say inside the tube, so every time you're gliding over the skin, if you're not seeing ink landing on the skin, your needle's a little bit too dry, you need to be dipping it again. If you're riding across the surface of the skin with a dry needle, all you're doing is causing damage without putting ink in. So it just means you're going to have to go over it more, and you've already caused trauma to the skin unnecessarily. So I'm literally moving around all these sections, and every time I visit a new section or a section I've previously been to, I'm blending it out more and finessing the shading more and smoothing everything out. Let's give it another wipe. So how much layering something needs and how many passes something needs all depends on the piece you're following. It all depends on how dark the sections are, and it all depends on how much blending you need to do to get those softer finishes in the values. There's certain lighter sections or certain things that require a different needle. So there's a bit of shading going on in the eyes, but I'll come to that later when I swap to a smaller needle. So it's not like I'm doing every single little bit on the face, moving around it uniform. I'm going to do sections, move around. I'm working efficiently. I'm getting everything I can done in the wash that's in my needle tube and also with the needle that's on the machine. Also, I'm using a Bishop packer and I've got a machine speed at the moment of 6.7. Give it a go, guys.